In a quiet Nigerian town, where the sun rises with prayer, and families believe faith can solve every problem, a stranger arrived. He came with no car, no luggage, just a Bible in his hand, and a smile that felt like hope. His name was Pastor Ezekiel Adeyemi. No one knew where he came from. No one asked? Because in Ayatoro town, any man who carried a Bible was already trusted. Pastor Ezekiel spoke gently. He laughed easily. And when he prayed, people said they felt something move inside them. So under a big mango tree, the prayers began. Men sat on wooden benches. Women knelt on woven mats. Children watched quietly. And Pastor Ezekiel lifted his hands. Pastor Ezekiel said, "My children, God is about to do something new in this land." That was the moment everything changed. Because suddenly, Pastor Ezekiel stopped talking. He closed his eyes. His body stiffened. Then he pointed. You, wearing the blue wrapper. It was Mama Kemi, a woman who had been sick for years. Pastor Ezekiel said, "The Lord says, your tears are finished." 3 days later, Mama Kemi was seen walking freely. No pain. No sickness. The town exploded with excitement. "Man of God! True pastor! God has answered us." And from that day, doors began to open, especially the door of the Ogunlai family. Pa Samuel Ogunlai was a hard-working farmer, a good husband, a loving father. But business was failing. Money was tight. And fear was growing. So when Pastor Ezekiel visited their home, Pa Samuel knelt down. Pa Samuel desperate. "Pastor, please pray for my family." Mama Mornike smiled politely. She served water. But their daughter, Damilola, said nothing. She just watched. Watched how the pastor's eyes moved around the room. Watched how he smiled too long. Watched how he spoke. Like he already owned the house. "Pastor Ezekiel, there is something fighting this family." Those words landed like thunder. Pastor Ezekiel said, "I see jealousy. I see hidden enemies. I see danger." Pa Samuel's heart shook. Mama Mornike's hands trembled. But Damilola frowned. Because something didn't feel right. "Damilola. Pastor. What kind of danger?" Pastor Ezekiel slowly turned to her. And smiled. "Pastor Ezekiel. The kind that lives very close." From that night, Pastor Ezekiel kept coming. He prayed longer. He spoke stronger. And slowly, fear entered the house. Pa Samuel stopped making decisions without the pastor. Mama Mornike prayed more, but smiled less. And Damilola? She noticed things. The pastor always came when her parents were alone. He asked questions that were too personal. He demanded offerings. Even when there was no food. Faith was no longer bringing peace. It was bringing silence. One evening, Pastor Ezekiel stood up suddenly during prayer. With a cold, firm voice. "The enemy is already inside this house." Everyone froze. Pastor Ezekiel said, "And God is showing me pointing at the door. Is your daughter?" Damilola's heart dropped. Mama Mornike gasped. Pa Samuel slowly turned and looked at his own child. For the first time. Not as a daughter, but as a threat. That night, Faith chose a side. And it was not hers. But what no one knew was that Pastor Ezekiel had done this before. In another town, another family, and another child, who never recovered. This was only the beginning.